Hello guys, Musselwhite here, also known as Criticized Entertainment, and welcome to a very special retro unboxing. Because today we're unboxing the 3DO. This is specifically the Panasonic 3DO, which was the very first licensee of the 3DO standard, if we were to say, or specifications. So without further ado, let's get right into this, because I really have been waiting to open this for literally 3 or 4 days. I've just been waiting for the last game to arrive before we started. So yeah, let's get started. We're not going to be doing any fancy zooming in today, because I really just want to get this set up, because I've been wanting a 3DO for quite some time, not going to lie, quite a few years. I actually got introduced by the 3DO, not in the most glamorous of fashions, by watching GT Countdown's Top 10 Worst Consoles as of 2007. I actually watched that, I think around 2008, 2009, so I had known about the 3DO for a while. I did dig the 3DO design in particular, because I quite liked it. However, I don't think it was like until 2012, somewhere maybe 2015, I've been actually seriously looking at 3DO. I haven't been able to afford it, but with it coming up on a slope now, it's already gone past its as cheap as it's going to be. It's going back up rising again, because it's going up as a collectible item, which does result in meaning that it's going to get more and more expensive. So I decided to finally bite the bullet and add this finally to my collection, because again I've been wanting a 3DO for ages. Because it's kind of like, I got this for like £215. It's quite expensive for a retro piece of equipment, but it's only going to get more and more expensive as time goes on now, so it's about as cheap as I'm going to get. Unfortunately, it did not come with the original box, but that would have cost me a lot more, so hey ho, there we go. Now a big backstory on itself. The 3DO was created in 1993 among the first 5th generation consoles, with claim to fame being able to do 3D, which is quite a big thing at the time, and hence the name 3DO. Now the 3DO company did not make the hardware themselves. They kind of created a standard, a set of specifications. So like that this thing has a 12.5 MHz ARM CPU and a custom 3D chips and so on and so forth. The companies could license from them and make consoles themselves. Great way for certain companies to get into the console market without having to do the R&D themselves. And it's quite an interesting thing, right? Because it technically would mean that because the 3DO was essentially a open standard, as it were, not like a single console, but I think about 9 consoles in total. I think 8 actually released, and even fewer that was for home markets. But because it was essentially that, you could develop for the 3DO, and a developer could actually just develop for the 3DO, and that would mean like it would work with those 9 consoles or any additional work or R&D. So it's really quite an interesting thing. Unfortunately, it did fail once, especially when Sony released the PlayStation. It just destroyed it, and development basically stopped in 1996. And homebrew was basically down on arrival, because how long it took to decrypt this thing, despite having no anti-piracy or regional lockouts of any kind. So, with that said, let's finally check out this console. Oh boy, the console itself is a lot bigger than I imagined. So first and foremost, we have the composite cables, which is video and the 2 RCA audio cables, and along with a SCART adapter. I'm not sure if the SCART adapter would have been a thing in the box, but we do have it nonetheless. On the other side, we have the controller itself, which I'm going to have to open up. Okay, so here's the controller, and actually the video says photos of it, of the size of this thing, it doesn't really do it justice. Yeah, it actually feels quite nice in the hand, actually, surprisingly. It's a bit heavy, but there we go. And actually, it's like an interesting quirk of the 3DO, because there was only one controller port on the console itself, as per the specifications. And to actually have more than one player, you would actually daisy chain these things in a row to have up to 4 players, which I personally think is a bad idea, but hey ho, there we go. It's quite one of the more interesting quirks of the 3DO. On the other side, because this actually also has is a CD player as well. It actually supports CDs of any kind. It doesn't use cartridges, which was also quite a revolutionary thing at the time. This was like a year before Sega released the Saturn, and about 2 years, I think, before Sony released the PlayStation. So there. So like, here's the headphone port, which actually, you know, it's the same port that you would find today with the technically current gen. It's almost previous gen, but the current gen PlayStation controllers, which also has a 3.5mm port, which is really quite interesting. And I think I can't remember if it was proprietary, but technically the Xbox 360 also had this kind of port. But the 3DO at the very least did this 13 years before Microsoft did, and even longer before Sony did it. That's really interesting, along with a volume knob for the headphone jack, so that's really interesting. So we're going to put that over there. And finally, not least, we've got the main unit itself, which takes up the bulk of the box. So I did mention this. So I did mention this thing as a CD is a 2x CD reader. Again, quite an interesting thing. I'm not sure how you meant to open this. Probably here. So 2x reader, which was at the time was pretty speedy. Before this was before like 8x, 16x. I think we got up to 52x now, but there we go. And actually, because this thing has literally no anti-piracy features, the only piracy thing it has is like these if I had 512 bits of RCA encryption, and that was basically as far as the piracy could go. But since there was no way for this thing to ascertain if it was a legitimate disc or a burned copy, you can means that you can actually just burn discs and it will more or less read it, depending on the brand of disc, which is always that iffy statement. But there we go. The 3DO, when it came out, when Panasonic released their model, this model we're unboxing right now, when it first came out, it came out for like $700, 400 British pounds, which is like even more today when you adjust for inflation. And yeah, but the community for this is actually surprisingly quite alive. There's like with mods for USB, hard drives. There's one for RGB and 240p output. So it's quite an alive community. And wow. Oh, so that's what the buttons are like, I think. Wow, yeah, the size again does not do it justice. The pictures do not do it justice. The condition of the unit is not the best, but again, I was already made aware of that. And I won't even need these RCA cables. We got like an RCA to HDMI adapter, so I can just connect it directly to my HDMI box. But there we go. So this is the FZ1 model, as you can tell from the title. So here's the front of the unit, which is surprisingly heavy. I'm not gonna lie. Here's one side of it. Here's the back, along with the hard-wired power connection, which is quite interesting, which means it's not as easy to replace the cable if that's done for. So there we go. I'm going to assume it's in focus and in frame, but also we also see a coaxial port, because that was a thing during the 90s, and S-video output. Where's that? S-video, I think that's that. S-video and the RCA connectors. So that's, you know, the composite port, so that's interesting. As well as a expansion, which is also another, gotta be careful not to drop this thing because I will break it. An expansion here as well. The bottom looks like this. And of course the top, which is probably one of the things most people know for Panasonic Real. So it looks like it's an acronym for something, but if it actually is an acronym, I wouldn't like to speculate. But yeah, there we go. That's the 3DO. It's quite a stylish unit. It actually, in terms of design, it still stands up pretty well today. I quite dig the look of it. The buttons I could decide was cooking. It was going to be one of those. Oh, it's like one of those, like piston station sort of design. That's quite interesting. And along with this, because I've actually been waiting for this for the days, I was waiting for the game to come in, which includes both a copy of Starfighter 3000, the specific port for the 3DO, which eventually got back ported to Wisco S, but there you go. This is not the best condition. It's still a very fun game, I got that. As well as a brand new, unused copy, essentially new old stock copy of Space Hulk. The very first game, which, well, I believe it's the first game which made its debut on the 3DO. So yeah, overall, I'm very happy to get this in particular. This is brand new, so I'm very happy. It's almost a shame to use it, I'll be honest, but hey ho, there we go. So yeah, there we go, guys. This is my unboxing of the 3DO console. I'm really looking forward to hook this up and play it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.